Hi there, welcome back to the channel. My name is Fred Macedo and I'm here with my friends Ruben, Rosalie and Rosangela. Before we start, I'm welcoming you to our Gospel at Home. I'm going to ask Rosangela to make our initial prayer. Please, Rosangela.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Thank you, Rosangela. Now I'm going to share my screen. This is the Gospel according to Spiritism, page 320. Much will be asked of him who has received much. Number 10. The servant who knew his master's will, but who nevertheless has neither prepared himself nor done what was expected of him, will be harshly punished. But he who did not know his master's will, but who has done things worthy of punishment, will be punished less. Much will be asked of him who has received much, and a greater accounting will be required from those to whom many things have been entrusted. I have come to this world to exercise judgment, so that those who do not see may see, and those who do see may become blind. Upon hearing these words, certain Pharisees who were with him said to him, "Then are we blind also?" Jesus answered them, if you were blind, you would not have sinned. But you now say that you see, and that is why sin remains in you. These maxims find their application, especially in the Spirit's teaching. All those who know and the precepts of Christ are surely blameworthy if they do not practice them. But besides the fact that the gospel that contains them has spread only in the Christian denominations, how many persons there are amongst them who do not read it? And of those who do read, how many there are who do not understand it? The result is that Jesus' own words have been lost to the majority. The Spirit teachings, which reproduce these maxims under different forms and develop and comment on them in order to put them within everyone's reach, have the particularity of not being at all circumscribed, and everyone, literate or illiterate, believing or disbelieving, Christian or not, can receive them because spirits communicate everywhere. None who receive them, either directly or through an intermediary, can claim ignorance of them. They cannot offer as an excuse either their lack of instruction or the obscurity of the teaching's allegorical meaning. Thus, those who do not take advantage of the teachings for their advancement, who admire them as being interesting and curious without their hearts being touched by them, who are not less vain not less proud, not less selfish, not less attached to material possessions, or who are not better toward their neighbor, are all the more guilty because they have a greater means of knowing about the truth. Mediums who receive good communications are even more blameworthy for persisting in wrongdoing, for they often write their own condemnation. And if they were not so blinded by pride, they would realize that the spirits are addressing them. However, instead of applying to themselves the lessons they write or those they seem written, their sole thought is to apply them to others, thereby confirming the words of Jesus. You see a speck in your neighbor's eye, but you do not see the log in your own. Through these words, if you were blind, you would not have seen. Jesus meant that blameworthiness is proportional to one's enlightenment. Thus, the Pharisees who had the intention of being and actually were the most enlightened individuals of their people were more reprehensible in God's eye than the unlearned people. The same applies today. Therefore, much will be asked of spirits, of spiritists, because they have received much, but also to those who have taken advantage of the teaching, much will be given. The first thought of all sincere spiritists should be to find out if in the spiritist councils there is not something that might concern them. Spiritism has multiplied the number of those who are called because of the faith it provides. If also it also will multiply the number of those who are chosen. Just a second. What can we say about this part? Okay. Um, I'm a spiritist. I say about 20 years, more or so, more or less. And when I started this doctrine, I started to to listen to all these teachings. I was kind of overwhelmed, and because um, unlike other religions, Spiritism puts all the responsibility upon us. All things we suffer are in our account. There is nothing that happened to us. There is not our doing, because we know there is a law of cause and effect. If we are suffering, we are encountering an effect that was previously set by a cause that we are responsible. If not in this life, in a previous one, because we spiritists believe that this is not our first journey in the flesh as human beings here incarnated, because if this was the case, God would be unjust, because if I was born in an African country, I don't have anything. I don't have anything to eat. I don't have anything to wear. And then I see in a TV someone that was born in Switzerland or in the United States that has everything that this person can can dream of. Why is this difference? But with several lives, if I'm rich today, I might be poor tomorrow. If I'm poor today, I might be rich in another life. Because as immortal spirits, we must endure every kind of experience to be perfect. And Jesus said that everyone can do what he did and more, meaning that we are destined to be perfect, but not in this one life we are living. We, we, we must have been hundreds of lives before that, or maybe thousands, I don't know. But we will have much more lives ahead of us. So, Spiritism teaches us that all suffering will come to pass. And when we deal with this present, that in most cases is not of our liking, because things bad happens to us and to people we love. But if we endure this, we accept these situations, work around them without revolt, without question God about uh, these things, we will deal with our past. We will resolve our wrongdoings, and we will have a much brighter future. Maybe in this life, maybe in another one. So that is the mean that much will be asked uh, to someone that have been given a lot, and all uh, these things that we know about the spiritism, that we have several lives, that our suffering will come to pass eventually, that we must learn to comprehend our neighbor, our difficult father, mother, sister, brother, son, because these people around us in this very close circle known as family, a lot of times we we are together again with those who have been our enemies in the past. So that's why there is so much argue, so much fight, because we are trying to atone for our past sins. And even if this our family doesn't remember uh, why and when we hurt them, there is a reminiscence. They sense animosity toward us because there are things that are unresolved, and we are with them to resolve this troubled past. And this applies to our work, to the people we encounter every day in the streets. Sometimes we wonder why why in a encounter in traffic someone pulls a gun and kill other. There is always a past linking this, and that's why we have to make an effort to be benevolent to all, to forgive all those who hurt us. And when Jesus say that we have to love our neighbor, we have to love our enemies, um, it's the meaning agape in Greek that um, tells about comprehension. We will not love someone that hurt us very badly, but Jesus asks of us not to revenge ourselves and to pray for those who hurt us, because they are not there um, for some acaso. I forget the word, but they are not there by chance. They are there because life brought us together, and we can dismiss this past by not fighting back. We accept, we forgive, and we move on. And those who hurt us will have their past to resolve with God. That's what I have to say about this passage that is very meaningful to me, because I know that I need to to make better choices every day, and sometimes, a lot of times, I I screw up. I don't think I don't do the things I'm supposed to, especially with my family. But next day, I get up and try to do better every day, a little better every day. Thank you all. I'm gonna ask Rosangela to make our final prayer. Thank you.
We thank the good spirits who have come to communicate with us and ask them to help us put into practice the instruction they have given us. We also hope they will ensure that each one of us at the end of the session is fortified in the practice of good and love for our neighbor. We also wish these lessons may be useful for the suffering, ignorance, or vicious spirits who were able to attend this meeting and forum. We implore the mercy of God. God bless you all. Good evening.
Thank you all. Night night.
Good evening. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.